morning, everybody. Whether you're on the East Coast, West Coast, or around the world, this is Coast to Coast. Had to, get the new intro in there because, Herb's been gone for like a month. So,
new song. I was thinking the new song. Hey, listen, if you need me interviewing other people so it doesn't show you for 90% of it, and
I was gonna ask you for those, but I haven't had time. This last week, I've been in a stadium like every single day. But yes, send me a couple of those so that we can get that balanced out. But I needed to get the timing right, so I was just like, all right, here we go.
I understand completely, so it's all right. We could feature you. Everybody knows what I look like, so
nobody tunes into the last 20 seconds of it anyway.
Exactly.
How's it going, Win?
So let's jump right into it because we got a lot to talk about today, and we will actually discuss some of the World Cup later on. There's some stuff to talk about, but let's start off with how the weekend went. New York burns down to the ground.
Yeah, you knew that was going to happen whether they won or lost, though. Like that was good. That was absolutely going to happen either way. What is it with burning school buses? Like, I don't
I don't understand that whole thing. And I tell you, listen, if there was ever a spot where Big Brother's watching,
yeah,
it's in New York.
Sure.
And all those people are going to get knocks on their doors today.
Oh yeah.
If they have doors
throughout the week.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if they have doors, they're getting knocked on.
Yeah.
That's a couple of the videos that I saw where it was like the one guy is like, trying to vandalize a cop car with a stanchion. I'm like, are you really trying to do this right now? Like, is that what you're trying to do? Like you're video? Celebrating and you want to beat up a cop car. Good work, buddy. And and I see you clear as day on my Instagram.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I can only imagine that they're going to find you. Good work.
No, I mean,
to celebrate.
Those types of things I've always thought have been ridiculous, especially in this era where everything is recorded all the time. I just going out there and being in plain view. I don't know. It seems extraordinarily stupid.
I would agree with that. And I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to be here on Wednesday, but I cannot wait till I get to speak to, our man on Wednesday, because I was right again.
Yes.
45 points by Jalen Brunson.
Hey,
another comeback, except it wasn't over 20. It was only 16 this time. That
is incredible in its own right. That the Spurs were up in every single game by double digits.
Yep.
And couldn't get it together. Yeah. Which, man, talk about a meltdown. If you have a lead in every game and you can't hang on to a couple of them, certainly the one that 29 points, like, you should be able to hang on to that. If you're closer to 10, fair enough. But yeah, I mean, you got to be able to.
But that was more how the Knicks played in general. They went on runs.
They did, and it's not like it was unfamiliar territory. They did some of that in previous series also. So, I mean,
let's face it. They had 6 games where they came back from 20-point deficits in the playoffs alone, and all year long, the NBA had 4 games where a team came back from 20-point deficits to win. So say give it up to the Knicks. And listen, I am like I said, I'm kind of happy that they won over San Antonio. Like I said, I can't stand San Antonio because I feel like that's the NBA's darling, blah blah blah.
Sure. I mean, it's been a victory drought for 53 years. So, like, you always got to feel kind of good when it's like, okay, you finally got there.
And it was like the Villanova team.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 4 guys from Villanova, on this team. I will say it may have been the only time in recent history that I can even remember a team winning a national championship and then being reconstructed on a pro team and then winning winning the championship. Like, I don't know of any.
No, so
they tried to do it with Michigan with the Fab Five a little bit, but that didn't ever happen, and they didn't win the national championship. So
yeah, so the one I was reading is this is the only time that's happened. So the 2016 Villanova team, 2026 Knicks. And then there was an interesting fact to it that I didn't know. They were all won in Texas.
Yes. They won 2 national championships in Texas, and then they won in San Antonio. So hey, listen, that's hey, God bless them. You know what I mean? Like I said, I because that whole Knicks team is all Eagles fans. So I fully expect now that the Eagles are going to win the Super Bowl.
That was the deciding
They're going to win the Super Bowl now.
I mean, I'd calm down, but
now listen, that's how these things go. Championships beget championships.
I mean, I feel like that one's a stretch. Like you're over there with your strings on the board. Like, this guy's won because of this, and
what's all thing in common? Eagles fans. But anyways, so that's that. Yeah, it started off like that, and then on Saturday, or I guess it was. So really, it's Friday night. We'll go ahead. We'll go to Sunday because this was on Saturday, and then Saturday nights, buses, police cars, fires. I didn't get the arrest reports of New York because I just didn't feel like it was necessary, but I can imagine that they were.
It had to be quite a few.
Yeah,
it had to be quite a few. And I mean, all these apocalypse movies just got some B-roll for nothing because everything's on fire. You're burning buses and cop cars, and you can use actual news footage. And yeah, so
for no reason.
Yeah, like I watched a guy throwing a stop sign like a frisbee into the front of a bus. I'm just like, I don't even know what we're doing. Like, they were trying to bust up the front of the bus, and he's like chucking a stop sign at it, and I'm just like, man, what is happening here?
Yeah. Hey, you know what? They say us Philadelphia fans are bad. You're not going to see much reported about this. Like all that stuff that was going on, you won't see much reported about it.
No, inside of a couple of days, it'll be a non-story. Yeah.
If it was Philadelphia, they would talk about that for years.
Yep.
New York, meh.
Well, yeah, New York, like burning a cop car. Typical Saturday.
Never a dull moment. And then yesterday, there was a hockey game. Lord Stanley has been given to the team of Carolina. The Hurricanes beat the Vegas Knights. And in a game that actually looked like a hockey game.
And it looked like how you thought the Hurricanes should have looked the whole time.
The goalie played a lot better. I mean, the Knights were still getting shots on goal.
Sure. Well, I mean, they're winning.
Yeah, I thought that they said that Carolina's goaltending played much better. Obviously, they got a shutout.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, it was I thought that they were going to win the series. I thought when they went up 3-2, and I said that a goalie was going to have to steal a game.
Mm-hmm.
That was the game. They did steal that fourth one. I mean, they were up 2-0, so it wasn't the biggest. They weren't getting the biggest of scares. Vegas, what I thought was the biggest thing was that Carolina shut down the power play.
Yeah.
The power play was killing them. That Vegas was able to score on the power play. They just couldn't get it together. And you felt they were squeezing.
Mm.
I think that when you looked on it, when you watched this game, I felt that they were just way, way tighter than they needed to be. Of course, you're on the brink of elimination, and I get it. So you start to get a little scared and stuff like that. You start squeezing the stick a little bit harder and things, but they were playing nervous. They weren't playing.
They're playing not to lose.
Yeah, they were playing more nervous on losing the cup rather than with reckless abandon to try to win the cup.
Yeah.
And that's really where it came down to, I think. Carolina was more poised, and they were able to agitate them enough to get them off their game.
Mm.
And there you have it. Like I said, so both of the championships are given out, and it's all is right with the world, I guess. It's just,
Well, it's funny because I had to in both of those games, I had to. So for the Knicks game, I had to have it on a phone because I was at the Storm game, right? And it was the best the Storm had looked. So that was nice. Still ended up coming away with a loss, although the Valkyries are a solid team. So, I mean, they were a playoff team last year. They got better this offseason, and they took them right down to the last couple of minutes. So, you're seeing some encouraging things, albeit not in the win column. Not that we thought that they were going to be challenging for a championship this year either. So, but when you're looking at them kind of moving forward, you're seeing glimpses of what they can be, what the vision is, right? And so that's encouraging. If you're going to have a lot of L's, at least if you can see the vision, it makes you feel better about it, as opposed to when you're collecting a lot of L's and you're like, oh no, we're just actually bad.
Well, you got to see the improvements. You got to see where the improvement's coming from. Like there are going to be open spots for teams that are going to come in on the end and could possibly, with under 500, possibly make a playoff run.
So
and
this won't be this team, not this year.
Right, but you want to see them start to make those trends. Like, hey, as you are getting further along the season, at the midway point, you want to see them string 3 wins together or 2 wins together and a tough loss. You know what I mean? And things of that nature as they start to move forward. That's where the progress really becomes. Like, you're seeing them right now starting to gel as a team, and that's what you're starting when you explain this to me, because I don't watch these games. I only get to hear it from you. But when I hear is that they are starting to put together moments of time during the game where they're very cohesive, and that makes these games closer than they probably were in the past.
Yeah. I mean, they've definitely limited over the last couple of games. They've limited the blowout opportunities that they've been in. So yeah, no, like it's nice. You're seeing the offense start to come together. You're seeing a little more stability in their starting 5, right? Because coming into the last few games, they had almost the same amount of minutes from the bench as they did, from their starters. And the starters have been, work in progress too, right? So with injuries and late arrivals and all of that. And now your roster is basically everybody's ready to go except Ezzy, who still has a foot injury. And, I think we might see her for the first time later this month, might be the beginning of next month. But, I think that there's enough encouraging stuff, right? That you're just like, okay, the offense is coming together. The defense isn't quite what it was originally, but still solid, right? Like it didn't look as good, but the last three opponents are all really good teams. Like you're talking about the Lynx and the Aces and, the Valkyries. And so, I mean, these are teams that score. So
right.
You expect them to shoot better than Connecticut and the Mystics, and not throw shade at those teams. They're just not the Aces, right?
and truth of the matter is that if you had those types of games that you played against the Valkyries and things like that, against the Mystic and the Aces and stuff like that, you would have won those games. So this is showing how this is where you get to learn against better teams. Because you see how they play cohesively, and you get to be able to use what it is you're learning on the court from these teams that are better and get to incorporate it into your team. So this is all learning experience, especially since, like I said, they haven't even been together as a team just yet. And now they're starting to,
well, and this game against the Valkyries was absolutely a great learning experience for them, because they went on an amazing run in the fourth quarter to get back in this game, because they were getting blown out in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, they worked their way back. The box score won't show it, but they went on a 17-3 run. They didn't start giving up points until the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Unfortunately, that's when, some of the veterans of the Valkyries were able to get it done. Because again, experience is key, especially late in the game, those types of things. So they had their opportunities to win. The more experienced team got the dub there. But again, everything there, you feel encouraged moving forward. You still don't see a lot of wins coming, but you see the vision.
Right. And like I said, the wins will come against the teams that you will start to believe that you can beat.
Exactly.
So it's like you're not there yet to start upsetting teams, but there's going to be teams that you think that you're going to be able to beat. And it's going to start with minor upsets or small upsets. Oh, this team has got 4 points. You start winning on the road. Typically that's what'll happen. You start, maybe you start drinking together. You know what I mean? That's it sounds really ridiculous, but I don't know how that works with women teams, with female teams. I don't know. Maybe maybe they don't go out drinking together. They do something else together. And I'm not going to be sexist in anything that I kind of suggest with that. You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, because I said, man, we're getting canceled this morning.
Well, yeah, they're all gonna go get manicures and pedicures. No, that's not how this goes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are athletes, so I'm not gonna suggest weirdo stuff like that. But what I'm saying is that when you're on the road, you get more opportunities to become more cohesive as a team and come together as a team. And whether it's going to the bar and hanging out at the bar, or whether it's going to the club and dancing one night, or just, maybe going out to breakfast. You know what I mean? It could be a lot of different ways.
Or you're dancing in a jail cell. For those of you that enjoy The Replacements, finally became a team.
I love that movie. I love that movie so much.
Absolutely.
And I was thinking I will survive.
Yep. Exactly.
Hey, Joe, if you're still here, I want to know if you saw me on Sport Italia. They had me featured on Sport Italia last night at live from Philadelphia. And I want to say it was probably somewhere in the neighborhood of 9 o'clock, maybe 10 o'clock. Could have even been a little bit later. Might have even been like 11 o'clock. It's hard to tell because I think it's a 6-hour difference, and it might have been like 4 or 5 o'clock that they were hitting me up. But I was featured on Sports Italia TV last night.
That's awesome.
And they interviewed me for a good 10-15 minutes. Like, once he found out that I was Italian, we were able to like kind of communicate, because he was asking me questions in Italian, and I'm like, I don't speak Italian. I'm like, I might be Italian, I don't speak Italian. But it was okay. There you go. But it was that's a shame. They did feature me there. I all of a sudden, because they put my Instagram up there, and all of a sudden I got a number of follows from Italians, I guess across the country. So it was. I had people messaging me and saying, you're on my TV.
Nice.
But yesterday I represented, oh my God. Sorry, I was starting to think about somebody else. Ivory Coast. I represented the Ivory Coast.
Oh, yeah.
And they won their game against Ecuador, which was a minor upset. It wasn't like a major upset. Ecuador is ranked 23rd in the world. The Ivory Coast is 33rd in the world. I will tell you that Ecuador really controlled the play most of the game. They had 3 shots go off the crossbar.
Oh,
literally. So they could have really crushed them, I thought. But they were getting frustrated on the fact that they just couldn't put that ball in the net. And in the 86th minute, Cote d'Ivoire goes down the pitch and scored a goal. And Ecuador couldn't keep up the pressure like they did most of the game.
Yeah,
it was really after that they really kind of the Ivory Coast just really kind of just clamped down and just played really good defense, and that was the end. On Friday, we had the USA.
Yep.
And if you want to talk about a statement game, this was supposed to be the most difficult game in their grouping. And it was a smackdown. It was a smackdown of epic proportions against Paraguay. Paraguay was defeated. They were just a defeated bunch. They were able, the fact that it was 3-0, it could have been 4-0. They have that, it was a real offside. So I'm not going to, like this is now computer generated. This is like the ABS when it comes to that. If you're more than half of you is offsides, it's offsides. So this isn't done by referees anymore. So yes, that was not a goal, even though it was a great shot. And what it did was scared Paraguay. It put Paraguay back on their heels, even though that goal did not count. It was, and the USA just kept bringing it and kept bringing it and kept bringing it. And 4-1.
Yeah.
And the next game, Brad, to answer your question, is against Australia, which also it's in Seattle, and was also a huge surprise. They upset Turkey. Turkey was supposed to be a tough team, and Australia really dominated them most of that game too. Wound up winning that game 2-0. So It's going to be a very interesting game against the U.S. against Australia. The U.S. is supposedly the better team. However, both of these teams played much better than they were supposed to.
Yep.
At least they looked much better than they did. They were supposed to look. And you're going to find that this is going to be a very exciting game on the 19th.
Well, and I like some of the things that have changed coming into this, like the time limits on some stuff, right?
Yes.
Because now you have the a 5-second countdown for the throw in. They're limiting the time for substitutions, right? Because I mean,
you just have to get off the pitch. They used to wait for the guy to run across the entire pitch to get to this, and
so now
not anymore.
Now they're like 10 seconds. That's it. You get out of here. So that is cool. There's a countdown on the goal kick.
Yes.
And so 5 seconds there. So I mean, they're speeding some of these actions up, which doesn't speed the game up. It's not like it's making the game shorter. The time limit's the time limit, but it's getting you back to action faster, which if you know me, I appreciate. Like I want to see y'all playing.
The other thing that I noticed was that listen, these guys are still down on the ground. They're still like hurt for a minute and such like that. But you notice that they aren't milking those times. You get 30 seconds, 20 seconds, 30 seconds. If you're on the ground too long, you have to go sit off for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah. So they give you 1 minute. And if you are, if you're still down, then you got to leave. Right. So
it's actually smaller time than that. It's like 20 seconds. If you're down on the ground for more than 20 seconds, 30 seconds, then you have to go sit off for a minute.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You have to sit off for the minute. That's right.
Right. Yeah. So now it's like they're getting themselves up faster. They're like, oh yeah. And the moment that the referee says you need attention, if you need attention, you're now off for a minute. And that's a no bueno. That's a no bueno. You cannot be down a man in soccer for any length of time. That means, because that usually means it's like being on a power play.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Speaking of potentially being down a man, if you are in a confrontation and you cover your mouth as you do it, that's an automatic red card. See you later. It's like, okay. Like they're not messing around. So it's, and then of course there's all of the, video checks for all kinds of stuff. Like you said, offsides, you can get the corners checked. So yeah, it's,
well, they're giving you that red card, and that's done because there's been too many times where they have the one guy says, hey, he said this, and you can't tell because he's doing this. Exactly. So they're not playing with that game anymore either. They're like, okay, this is that. I will say that so far the games have been interesting. I mean, minus the Germany game, it was 7-1. They were going up against Curacao, which is the smallest country in the world, just about, and it's really not even a real country. It's Netherlands. The Netherlands B team is what we found out that is. And, they lost 7-1. But short of that, like, I tell you, it was funny. Philadelphia Stadium, the link, and people were giving me crap because I called it Philadelphia Stadium. I'm like, listen, guys, I am following the rules of FIFA at the moment. So I know what it's called.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I know what it's called. I'm doing what I'm saying.
Seattle Stadium, right?
Yeah.
Instead of Lumen. And but if you're going to be talking about it, you kind of have to fall in line with that, because the last thing you want to do is end up with somebody giving you a phone call.
Well, it's not even giving me a phone call. I mean, I know that it's the link. I know what's going on. Trust me. Yep. Like I said, I gave a public service announcement letting people know, excuse me, that, hey, I am Team USA. I am the Philly sports guy, but you're going to see me in different countries because I am going to rep these countries because I'm going to give them some love. I'm going to show them like I am trying to increase my fan base throughout the world. And if I'm going to paint my face in a different country for a day to give them that love, okay, great. Beyond that, who cares really? Like, who cares?
What are you talking about? You're like, this is Philly. It's brotherly love. I'm just spreading it around. It's fine.
That's exactly it. That all being said, yesterday was an Ecuadorian crowd. Like, it was a sea of yellow.
Okay.
And I want to say there was 67,000 fans in the link. You know, I'll say the link here because FIFA's not watching me here. But
and then you froze. Maybe they are.
Anyway, and there was literally maybe about 300 to 500 Cote d'Ivoire fans. I mean, there were a lot of people that were representing Cote d'Ivoire just because there were so many Ecuadorians. I mean, literally, you looked in the stand. There's pictures I have of me as the orange blob in the middle of a sea of yellow. It was that much. And then to see them come out with the win. There was I am getting some love today from the Ivory Coast because they are all back home, and whoever's got Instagram, I can imagine that they are not they're not super big on Instagram out there, and I can't answer that question intelligently or not, but the ones that are showing some love. They were very excited that I represented them. And the fact that we won, they're like, you have to represent us again. I'm like, that's, no offense, but I'm only going to represent, each country once.
Fair enough.
I mean, it's just, I'm representing USA every time.
Yeah.
But I am representing every country one time. So, and the next game that's played in Philadelphia is Brazil versus Haiti. And I can imagine, not that, that there is a Haitian group that's in Philadelphia. So I can't imagine it's going to be as severe of a disadvantage for, like the Ivory Coast, where there's like a few hundred to 70,000, Ecuadorians. I think that, Brazil is still going to, there's still going to be a massive, I'm going to say every 10 to 1, but that also means that there's, 55,000 or 58,000 fans for Brazil and 7,000 Haitian fans that are going to be at this game. Tickets were sold out across the board with 2 hours left to go before the game. The cheapest ticket I saw was for $900, and it didn't last very long. It amazed me that you couldn't find a ticket like on any of the platforms. Ticketmaster, like I was looking on FIFA's, I was on the FIFA's app to try to find a ticket, and you could not find one. Right now, the best game to go to across the board, across the entire board, and this may be different in different cities, but in Philadelphia right now, the cheapest ticket that you could purchase is when the Ivory Coast plays Curacao here in Philadelphia.
Oh, okay.
And you could buy that ticket right now for $400. So, no offense to the Ivory Coast, but that day, if I am around, because I'm not sure if I'm going to be around that day or not, I would actually represent Curacao. No offense to the Ivory Coast. No offense to them.
You gain those followers, and then Curacao wins, and then Ivory Coast like you're dead to me.
Exactly. Never come to our country. But the hardest part is finding any of these jerseys. Like you would think these jerseys would be easy to find. No, not easy at all. So I've been trying to work it out, and there's only so much you can purchase from Temu and stuff like that. They're like, hey, I need every XXX jersey you have. I'm only an extra large, by the way, but maybe 4X.
Oh yeah, I mean all their stuff fits extra small. Yeah.
So be like, you spray painted on me, but
well, you like body paint, so there you go.
I like face paint. I don't do the body paint. Last time I tried to do anything with this body, it's I'm leaving that be. But what a game for USA, just to go backwards a little bit here. I mean, that was really and I can imagine it's going to be very exciting up in Seattle. Did Rob get you a ticket to that game? Are you going to that game?
I am not going. No, Rob isn't a big soccer guy. So
yeah, I don't care if you're a big soccer guy or not. You are. This is something that, I mean, at least in Philadelphia, it transcended your love for the sport or not. You know what I mean? There were a lot of people who became USA soccer fans right away. That they really, by beating them the way that they did, especially so. Interestingly enough, on Friday night, I got to introduce the Ivory Coast to the state of Pennsylvania. I got to welcome them and got to meet the team and take pictures with them and things of that nature. And it really was an amazing experience. I was like I said, all of my, Côte d'Ivoire, les éléphants, you know what I mean? And just bon chance, you know what I mean? Good luck, you know what I mean? Just saying those phrases was enough, you know what I mean? It's just and saying Aquaba rather than bienvenue, because that's not, they don't say welcome in French. They say it in a an African dialect.
Okay.
So it was and asking the coach about that, and he was like, he looked at me kind of funny. He's like, yes, that is correct. You know what I mean? It was just, and he didn't speak good English either, but he was like, yes, like he was actually excited that somebody knew what he was talking about and that it wasn't just, you speak French, so bienvenue, you know what I mean? Because they would accept that too, but it was the fact that I went that little step further. The team was really excited about that. They all came up and thanked me. Like kind of personally, they're like, that was amazing. You know what I mean? That you were able to do that and have this speech in front of like 8,000 fans that came out for this free event. And afterwards, we watched the game at the Union Yards with probably a good 300-400. And I will tell you, the Aquaba, yeah, see, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. And the first goal was scored. Now I'm watching it outside on the big screen, and there's people watching it inside, and there was a 45-second delay.
That's the worst, especially if you're in the same room. Like when you go to one of the bigger sports bars and they got a ton of TVs, and then there's that one TV that's like 30 to 40 seconds ahead of all the other TVs. So you always end up hearing like this little section, yay! And then like 30 seconds later, the rest of the bar's like, yeah! And you're just like, oh man, they need to turn that other TV off.
Yeah, and it was Unfortunately, like, so I'm outside, so they score the goal and everybody's cheering on the outside. So now we all know their scores. So now I get my phone ready. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And that second cheer isn't anywhere near as exciting.
No,
You know what I mean?
no.
And it's like, and then they had listen, guys, let's get the televisions right. You got one job. You have one job. Set it all later.
It's the feed. It's the feed. Like it
set it all. Set it all to the later feed. Then everything waits to the 45.
It's the way that it comes through the box, because they usually have TVs that are like daisy chained, right? And so it's usually just like one of the boxes is ahead, and so I mean, in that moment, you're just like, look, we gotta either reset the box or something. You got to try and do something to get them back in time with each other, because it's always really annoying when you get, especially if it's a real big open bar where you can see that other TV from across the room, because you're like, oh man, I'm not sitting close enough to the TV that's got the actual live feed. And so, yeah, no, I get it. I get it. And it happens every time.
And it was a little on the frustrating side. So I tried to do my video and I couldn't post it because there was not as much excitement. I'm like, because then I started to make a joke. I'm like, what a surprise.
Exactly. Yeah. All of a sudden you're like, all right, I bet you a beer that we're going to score in like 30 seconds.
Yeah, the problem was that you couldn't make that bet on 30 seconds because it might have been 36 seconds. And you would have, like, oh man, it's. But that what a performance by USA, and it's going to be a very, very interesting game against Australia. Like I said, Australia manhandled Turkey, and that wasn't supposed to happen that way. Yep. So two big surprises in our group, and Australia is not going to be somebody that you can take lightly.
No. Australia's going to be a battle. Like, that's going to be a tough game.
You know, and Turkey now has to be really worried because Turkey was looking, they were suggested that they were going to be number 2 in this grouping to be able to move on. But now that loss is a big loss for them. They're going to have to figure it out against Paraguay. And, you know, they say, because like I said, the U.S. looks so much better, and Paraguay was supposed to be our toughest match in this grouping.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We will see. But
well, and what the top 2 move on, and then the third goes into the 8, right? It's only your 4th place team in the first group that is eliminated.
Something like that. I think it's because it's. I mean,
it's like a loser bracket that you can kind of work your way back in still.
Yeah, it's 24 and they have to get it to 32. Right? That's how that works.
Other way around. But yeah. 32
well,
to
no,
24.
Well, no, that's what I say. There's 48 teams right now.
Yeah.
There are 24 teams. The first 2 teams.
Oh, the 2 teams. Yeah. No, I'm with you.
And then they have to break that. Then that's how the 3rd place gets into that 8. I mean, it seems a little odd. I'm not sure how that all works, but
yeah. So the 3rd place team goes into the 8 that, you know, again, can find its way back into the mix, and the 4th place team, they're done. Like that.
Right.
That's it.
So, and it's only 8 of the 12 3rd place teams. So Just because you're in 3rd place, excuse me, doesn't mean that you're going to win.
No, then it comes down to goals and tiebreakers and whatever. Yeah.
Right. So like Curaçao's got to win their games right now if they want to get in, because the -6 in the goal category is usually no good.
Yeah. Yeah, that generally means you're going home.
Right. But that being said, a lot of games on the docket today, starting at noon.
I was going to say, before we get into that, speaking of going home, I was covering rugby last night, and It was the first round of the playoffs. Seawolves versus the Legion. It was a rematch from the end of the season, and they were not able to beat the Legion 2 times in a row. The Legion learned from some mistakes they made a week ago in the final regular season game, came away with a win. So they will be headed to Chicago to play for the Major League Rugby Championship. The other game is being played tonight to see who it is they'll be playing. But sadly, Seawolf season comes to an end.
Wow. What was the score?
It was 43-34 Legion. So there was some sloppy
the Legion got spanked. Was this one of these things where they thought that, you know, they relied too much on the fact that they spanked them so badly the week before?
No, I think it's one of those. There was a little bit of gamesmanship in the last game by both teams. Like they didn't do things that they always do, because didn't matter who won. These two teams were going to play each other again this week because of the way the standings fell. So basically, last week was seeding as far as who had the home game, right? So Seattle gets the win. But you come into this one, they end up with a 20-minute red card. So they were down a guy for 20 minutes of this game. There was just a lot of little mistakes that led to this, kind of slipping away. And they took the lead a couple of times, even late in the game. So, I mean, this game isn't as far away as that score looked. They just didn't have anything left there at the end. And
a 20-minute red card. Is that... Yeah. So it's not for the entire game, or they got a red card with 20 minutes left in the game?
No. So this particular one that was issued was not for an entire game. It was a red card for 20 minutes of the game. And it actually ended up being kind of like right in the middle of the game. But so, yeah, you miss 20 minutes, then you can come back. But still, you're down a guy for 20 minutes of the game, which is rough. They did manage, even down a guy, to take the lead. So, I mean, you saw life out of the Seawolves, and they made a push, and then right at the end, they made some mistakes that the Legion capitalized on. So, congrats to the Seawolves on a great season, and to the Legion for getting to go and compete for their first championship.
Now go beat Chicago.
Well, you don't know.
Nobody likes Chicago.
I mean, it's being played in Chicago. We don't know if they're playing Chicago yet. Chicago
is the team that's the monster, right?
Chicago is going to win, but they got to play the games. So, and that game is later today. So, yeah.
Gotcha. So, hey, listen, what was the foul that created a 20-minute red card?
I missed the foul even in the moment. So I can't tell you. I haven't gone back to look because I didn't get back until midnight, and then I'm up at 4 for this. So there's not a lot of research time because I also wanted to take a nap. But but yeah, no. Even in the moment, I wasn't sure what the red card was for. I missed it.
Got you. Probably I guess for something like that, there could be like a spiking or something like that where. Yeah, I would have. It's got to be something egregious, I would think, for a 20-minute red card.
I'm guessing it was a hit to the head, right? Because you can get some of those for that. Again, I'm not sure, but I imagine it was probably something to that effect.
Got you. Okay. Well, like I said, good season for them, and we'll see you next year.
Yep. Pretty much. And then if you want to see some of the post-game interview stuff, it's on my YouTube that you're probably watching right now.
There you go.
Yeah.
Go see what it's all about.
Exactly. Anyway, so there are some games that are coming up.
Yeah, today. It's interesting. Today there are a lot of World Cup games starting at noon. So it's Monday. You know what I mean? So these games are it's interesting that they are playing. It starts off with Spain versus Cape Verde. And that's, I was trying to figure out like who I would want to represent today. And I was like, Capo Verde may be one of those teams that I would try to represent. Again, I couldn't find Capo Verde on a map. Spain, I can find. Capo Verde, no clue. Nope. Capo Verde is a plus 3,000 today. I would probably suggest not taking them. Spain is one of the best teams in the world.
Yep.
So,
but Joe, if you want to lose some money, you can do it right here with the QR code on the screen. You'll want to take advantage of that 10% bet guarantee, because there is a solid chance if you take the underdog here, you're just donating money to bet us.
Today in Seattle, over at Seattle Stadium, you have Belgium versus Egypt.
Yep.
Which is going to be a good game here. Egypt is a plus 500 to Belgium's minus 170. So
that's going to be a good game then.
I think that I think Belgium's definitely the better team.
For sure, but those odds are giving Egypt a puncher's chance.
Yes. I mean, it's as I go down, you'll hear like a closer puncher's chance, but
sure.
But Egypt's shouldn't get blown out of here. Is what you would think.
That's going to be like a 3-1 kind of game.
Game 3 happening in Miami is Uruguay versus Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is a plus 700 to Uruguay's minus 220. Uruguay is one of the better teams in the world. The South American teams are all very strong. So like when you have, there you go.
Biggest upset.
That would be a great upset. I hope that you do that. So I'm going to put like $10 on Capo Verde. And then the last game tonight at 9:00 tonight in where they play in Los Angeles is Iran versus New Zealand. And Iran is a minus 120 to New Zealand's plus 380. Now that's where like Iran is supposedly the better team here. However, I look at that as a draw.
Yeah.
New Zealand is actually I don't know. If this was rugby, I would definitely say New Zealand wins that one.
No question.
I'm not sure.
Yeah, if it was rugby, that's not even a conversation. Those odds wouldn't be anywhere near that.
It's going to be big days of the World Cup. It's like the fact that they're having these early games and later games and stuff like that, where 12:00 games during the week.
You've got a lot of games to get through. Like it's the first round. Think about it with March Madness, right? Like there's games that are pretty early because you just have so many games to get through.
Right. So I like the fact that there's soccer being played all day long. You could sit there, and that's what makes it fun for, like I said, around here. I don't know what they have in Seattle, but at Lemon Hill in Philadelphia, the old Belmont Plateau, for all those people that listen to Summertime by Will Smith. Yep. The place called the Plateau is where everybody goes. That's where Lemon Hill is. That's what we're talking about. And that's, it's like I said, it's a big, they had to shut it down early yesterday. They didn't even get to watch the last game last night because there were tornado warnings and things of that nature. There was a big storm, that line of storms that came through, and they were just like, everybody go home now. Don't wait. These storms are going to be bad. And it poured pretty good. It was like they were afraid of hail and things of that nature, and that's all they needed was a whole bunch of yellow hail around Philadelphia from all the Ecuadorians. So they were like, get in your car, get home, get back to where you got to get to right now because it's going to be bad. So I don't know if there was hail or anything last night, but
I gotcha.
But so yeah, go out to Lemon Hill today and check it out. There's going to be a lot of soccer going on.
Yeah, for around here, it would be things like the Queen Anne Beer Hall. Shout out to them.
I know the Queen Anne Beer Hall. So
and they will absolutely have it on. They will absolutely have soccer on all day.
Just a quick little note: the owner of that is from Philadelphia.
There you go. They even have multiple locations now. So
how about that.
They got one in Kirkland as well. And so, yeah, no, it's a cool spot. If you haven't been there, check it out. A little free plug for them. But they'll definitely have it on. Obviously all of your major sports bar chains will have it as well. But so if you just want to not participate in life for a couple of days, this is going to be a good week for that.
Absolutely. And if you are watching and you have a fan of a specific country and you want to send me the jersey so that I will rep your country, please do. Reach out to me. You can find me on Instagram at the Philly Sports Guy. I ran into some people that I'm getting sent a Mexico jersey. They want me to represent Mexico for a game. So I was going to do that for them. So like I said, you get one game from me. I get the jersey. I'm not giving it back. Sorry.
Well, I think that changes who potentially sends you a jersey.
And it's got to be an extra large. I got to fit in. If it's spray paint,
send him a tummy shirt. That being said, for our radio audience, you're glad you're not going to see that. Be sure to tune in. If you're listening on 97.3 ICU Radio, there is some smooth jazz headed your way coming up next. And of course, if you are listening or watching everywhere else, be sure to like and subscribe. Helps us bring our stuff to you. Look at us getting out on time today.
How about that?
Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. We will see you tomorrow.
Peace.
Where'd my outro go?